Okay, let's go ahead and get things started. We're going to go ahead and give Spotify the rest of the stream off, and we're coming over here. Hey everyone, Spidey Librarian here, and welcome to Classics Revisited, the live stream where I revisit a movie that I have very much enjoyed from my past and watch it definitely not for the first time, but hopefully, have a good re-experience with the material. Today, we are going to be featuring the... This movie needs no introduction, but I'm going to give it one anyways. Today, we are going to watch the pop culture smash hit, Ghostbusters. This movie is over 40 years old. Much like me, actually. And God, like so many people other than me basically say that this movie, this franchise, this IP, whatever you want to call it, basically just kind of is their childhood. And it's very difficult for me to find any kind of sentiment that differs very much from that. I do remember the first time I watched Ghostbusters, and it turns out that it wasn't in theaters. I can tell you that much. I was sick. I was probably about 6 years old at the time. I don't know, maybe 7. I don't quite remember, but I do remember being sick, and I do remember I was kind of laid up on the couch in our living room at the time. I guess so the adults in the house could keep an eye on the sick little boy. I don't know. All I know is that I was kind of laid up on the couch in the living room, and my grandmother and some of the other adults came back from running errands and everything, and my grandmother was really excited. She's like, guess what? I brought you some Ghostbusters. She's really excited to try to make me to cheer me up from being sick, because I do remember it was one of those like I'm not going to school, I'm not doing nothing. I had a fever, I felt terrible. I was genuinely sick. It wasn't one of my attempts to stay home. But this was back in the era when video rentals were basically the VHS tapes, those big rectangular, things that you had to put into a VCR and then rewind them when you were done. That was definitely a policy that the video stores had. Please be kind, rewind. It was an entire thing. Anyways, I remember watching it on this big huge TV in our living room. Not a flat screen either. This was like a big old monster of a TV. And it blew my 6 or 7-year-old mind. I was completely and totally just blown away by this movie, which basically featured these 3 and then 4 funny men, essentially, funny in different ways. And then they were fighting ghosts that kept popping up, and we didn't understand why. And then a few years later, we of course got the sequel, Ghostbusters 2, which was fine. And really, I mean, when I watched that one, I was mostly watching it because of not necessarily for the story. I liked those characters. I liked Peter and Egon and Ray and Winston and Jeanine and Lewis and all of those guys. They made me laugh. They made me feel like entertained and a bit of escapism, because again, the first time I saw this movie, I was sick. I definitely needed the escapism at that time. And they definitely succeeded on that front. And then, of course, we had they wanted to make a third movie. The third one was caught in development hell forever and simply never got off the ground. And eventually in I think it was the late 2000s, we got a game. We got a 3D game featuring pretty much the entire cast returning to voice their characters. Like Annie Potts came back to voice Jeanine, Bill Murray came back to voice Peters, Dan Aykroyd for Ray, and so on and so forth. And we also got Harold Ramis back as Egon. And I'm not gonna lie, Egon was my Ghostbuster. Egon is like he was the one I identified with as a child. Like he was the really smart one. He was a bit socially awkward, and I really identified with that personality, that that one trying to be the one that has all the answers and just kind of does it. Um, so I really liked him. I really liked um, I liked all of them, but Egon was the one I identified with. And I thought it was fascinating how Jeanine seemed to have a crush on him in the first movie, and he just didn't seem to notice or care, And I just remembered, like, I was like, okay, she likes him, and he is not even bothered by it, and I don't know, for some reason I thought that was fascinating. Um, in any case, my history with this franchise is pretty extensive because not only did I watch the movies over and over again, and I've watched them many times as an adult too. I probably watched this movie just a few months ago last time. But I definitely watched the real Ghostbusters cartoon that came up in the 80s, and that one I think I need to rewatch that at some point, simply because I just don't remember a lot of it. I remember some of the monsters, I remember the animation style, but really it's the movies where I've got the most grounding, where I've got the most experience, and probably most other people would say the same. I also happen to know that there are Ghostbusters comics, there are other Ghostbusters animated shows that I have never really watched, and I don't really know how those kind of integrate with the, kind of with the Prime franchise. If I had to guess, it's probably more of a multiverse Ghostbusters kind of thing, kind of like the 2016 movie, which, I don't have any issues with that movie, especially now that I know that it's more or less occurring in a different universe. Um, I do think that narratively it is one of the weaker ones. I'd have to say that narratively a it's probably right about on par with Ghostbusters 2 or Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. So, Um and I don't think either of those two are winning any awards anytime soon. Now, comedically, that movie is hilarious, and I don't understand the amount of hate that it gets. But we're not here to talk about that movie. So, anyways, I think honestly, this is just one of those movies that I sit, I watch, I quote it all the time, and I love it so much. It is a good time, and it is one of those movies that I will definitely be interested in proceeding to watch over and over again as we get into this. So, all right, I'm gonna do the what is it? Blah, blah, blah. The reaction video portion of the recording. I probably can just do the introductions, the house cleaning, and then I can take a lot of what I've already said and just kind of place those in like place it after that, and then do the wrap up. So I think we may just do the intro and then work on it that way. So, all right. So, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that. And before I do, we're gonna go ahead and start with um, muting the desktop audio. I need to do a sound test, make sure that everything works before I get started on all of this. And there we go. Okay, all right. And let's see. I'm just going to play a random YouTube video, and hopefully none of you that are here will hear it. Um I'm not doing that because I have not seen it. Come on, just give me something. Here we go. Cobra Kai finale. I've definitely seen the Cobra Kai finale. Okay. All right. Okay, hopefully you did not hear the reactors keying to the end of Cobra Kai over on YouTube. So, all right, let's go ahead and do the again. I think what I don't know. Maybe I'll just redo the intro. Um, yeah, I'm still working on structuring everything. So, all right, let's go ahead and do the reaction video portion of the recording, and we are going to do that right now. Hey everyone, Spidey Librarian here, and welcome to Classics Revisited, the live stream where I rewatch a movie that I have previously enjoyed. Today's Classics Revisited movie is going to be the original, well, Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters from 1984. And hold on, I'm thinking in terms of what I need to say to everyone. Um, let's see. We've done Ghostbusters. Okay. And then I'm sorry. Again, this is like the second time I've done this. So, and I think the first time there were some issues. So, um let's see. This is where I would launch into what I was talking about earlier, although I think I just can transpose all that and not worry about it too much. We'll see. Um so I think at this point yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so with all of that done, with all of that said, we're going to go ahead and move to the kind of the wrap ups, and then we're going to throw on the headphones and just start watching the movie. All right. So, anyways, yeah, okay. Um, and again, this movie remains one of the gems from my childhood. I really love it, and we're going to watch it here in just a moment. If you enjoy these reactions, please go ahead and thwip the like button, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing as well. Also, if you enjoy these reactions, consider sharing this out to your friends, your family, your followers, anyone that you think would enjoy my reaction to these media. Whether you like or dislike this movie, let me know why in the comments. I would love to have a conversation with you about this show. Finally, you can find the full and unedited live stream of these reactions on my YouTube channel. There is a master playlist of movies that I watch and react to, but I have also started to divvy them out into smaller playlists, usually by genre. Ghostbusters would be science fiction, comedy, maybe fantasy as well, and might get its own playlist for those franchise movies sometime in the future. In any case, you can find all of those playlists on my YouTube channel under the category Watch Party. All right. And I think that's everything. So we're going to get started here in just a second. I'm going to throw on the headphones, reposition the microphone, and then we're going to start watching us some Ghostbusters. All right. So I hope bustin' makes you feel good. Okay, let's go ahead and get things underway. All right. Ba-dim, ba-dim, ba-dim. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-da. Let's see. We can position me right about here. We bring the microphone out to here. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. I think we're good to go. Only about 22 minutes in. So, okay. All right, everyone. 1984's Ghostbusters. Here we go. Scary music. The New York Public Library. I've been there actually. It's been forever. The lions. That's very foreboding. The close up on the lion. Bum, 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 you know. Oh, this poor librarian. Probably wouldn't have gone as bad if she were a Spidey librarian. I can only imagine what filming this particular scene must have been like. Having no clue that this movie is going to be as big as it becomes. So like, did I just see books rearrange themselves on the shelves? No? Excuse me. And then it starts happening again. Card catalogs. Who remembers card catalogs in libraries? Pepperidge Farm remembers. So if I had seen that, I probably would have freaked out too. Especially if it just kept on happening. Running away, yeah. Where is she trying to get to? Okay, lady, how long have you been... Oh boy. In the neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Oh man. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Venkman burn in hell. The three scientists. Venkman, Stantz, and Spangler. So this intro to Venkman, this dude is just smarmy as all get out, and it's just funny because this was hilarious back in the 80s. This character would be extremely problematic if he came on the scene just today. He is clearly favoring the girls. He shows him when he's wrong. He doesn't show her when she's wrong. See, I see how this experiment could be performed today. You just have to take out the shock treatment. Yeah, huh, whatever. Nervous? Of course he is. Oh my god. 75 more? Oh my god. Dude was right. Uh, I mean, to be fair, that would have changed my outlook on the experiment too. Keep the $5. We're paying you $5 to get shocked? No. God. Uh-huh. Dude is being smarmy with college co-eds. Uh-huh. Yeah, no. Poor librarian. Nope. Yeah, you gotta go with him. He's like, you gotta come with me. This is not something you can just send me away for. So, uh, Sleaze. I love Ray's explanation for why he believes in the paranormal. There's Egon. God, that's just mean. Why would he want to drill a hole through his head? I've never gotten that. This guy must be the library director. You don't even know what you have yet. Oh boy. My uncle thought he was Saint Jerome. Hmm. Wow. It's moving. All right, let's go have a look. And Peter's just following along, completely disinterested. Like, I better go with them. I love the big, huge pile of library books here. I mean, okay, but why would they? Even if you did it for a prank, like, what's the point? Ectoplasm. Peter's sarcasm is what appeals to me. Blah. Got some on his face. Hey, don't disrespect the books, jerk. Librarian instincts kicking in. Oh, well, that was random. Or not. Oh man. All this cool equipment, these gadgets and everything. Uh-oh. We're close. Something's nearby. I like Egon's face right here. Like like it's quiet, but like you see the expression change completely. And then Peter asks, and they have no idea. I love how he grabs Ray by the ear. Uh-huh. Yep. And they both look right at Peter. And he's like, okay, all right. Peter's clearly like the most socially comfortable out of all of them. Where are you from originally? Oh, God. And the librarian goes, turns to look at him. Oh, God. We'll get back to you. Like, nope, we're leaving for a little bit. It's a great like first experience. Get her. Ooh. He got the readings that he needed to make the ghost traps and stuff, right? He's always serious. Okay. I'm gonna take back some of the things I said about you. A Nestle Crunch bar. What's going on? This guy looks a little too happy giving these guys bad news. Wow. Tell us what you really think, dude. Dean Yeager. I don't know how much a patent clerk earns. I never have. They expect results. Yeah. I love Peter and his smarmy charisma here. I don't know, man. That's. I have no idea. Oh, God. He had to sell his house. Everybody has three mortgages nowadays. That is a lot of money. I hope so, man. I mean, clearly it does, but so yeah, that would probably be a no. But then Ray found the fireman's pole. Try it out. And the realtor's like, well, so what do you think, guys? And I mean, Ray's the one with the money, so all of these shots of gargoyles. And there is Ms. Sigourney Weaver as Dana Barrett. Hey, hey, I'm walking here. And Lewis. Rick Moranis. Excuse me. This poor guy. He apparently talks to her all the time. Such a good little performance by him. Bye, Lewis. Oh, excellent, excellent performance by Rick Moranis right there. She's like, Ghostbusters, what? She's like, okay, I'm turning off the TV now. Goodbye. New York is just full of all kinds of kooks, isn't it? Stay puffed marshmallows. Okay, this scene is just one of those that it's one of the reasons this movie grabbed me as a kid. Just seeing this happen was blew my mind. Like, what the hell would you do if you saw this actually happening? Hell, I wonder how they actually made that happen. Probably very simple, but you know. And what is that coming from the refrigerator? Zool. Yeah, I probably would have had a similar reaction. There she is. I loved the intro to this car. I found the car. Only 4,800. Annie Potts. She's Peter. Good God. Oh, he was under there the whole time. Okay. Print is dead. Even now, it isn't. I don't know why, because I have no interest in spores, molds, or fungus, but for some reason that line also stuck with me. And here she comes. She's coming to the Ghostbusters she saw in the commercial. Peter just jumps up and I guess she's been staying in a motel or a hotel the last couple of days. Well, quite a few people would make up a story like that. Oh my god. Sleaze. That was a good, like, kind of comeback response, though, you know? Oh, Peter. Peter, Peter, Peter. He's like so infatuated. This whole scene was great. Oh, God. Good. It's like, keep it to yourself, Peter, okay? Oh my God. And she's just like totally done with him already, you know? Thanks, I guess. And yeah, I would have left all this stuff too. Oh god. Dude, that's judgy. Doesn't know. Yes, that's so reassuring, Peter. Thank you. Oh god. Yep. Yep. Yeah, right. She's like, you don't have to prove yourself to me. You can just go. No kiss. Oh. Smarm. And then poor Lewis, man, always locked out of his own apartment. Magnificent feast. Hey, chill out there, Peter. Yes, of course, they're serious. They'll be totally just, yeah, right. That elation when she's screaming out, "We got one!" You know, they've each got their own locker. That's funny. Oop. Yes, that's very discreet. Uh, Stop staring, Peter. My God. Oh, yes. So quiet. So this guy in this scene right here, I feel like he is, yeah, this guy here. I feel like that guy is like an actor from, his heyday was probably like a long time ago or something, but like it's like a cameo. Unlicensed nuclear accelerator. You switch them on, it makes a high pitched sound, they all back away. Again, Peter just like does not care. Oh God. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, you just destroyed a cart. You can do more damage that way. I think it's really funny that in the Ghostbusters video game, the one from the late 2000s, there's a mechanic of the game where it's like, just keep doing damage. It's fine. Your insurance will cover it. In fact, the more you do, the better it is for you. And here we go. First encounter with a ghost, and Ray is just like, what the hell? Slimer. I love the detail when Slimer goes through the wall. Then there's like the pool of ectoplasm right after he passes through. I don't know. That's really cool to me. Egon. Peter's walking through, completely uninterested until one of my favorite lines here. Come in, Ray. It's looking at me. I don't know. I like this, like, right behind Ray perspective. That really kind of ratcheted up the short term panic for me when I first saw it. Okay, so he saw it. Yeah, you guys don't want to be in there. Trust them. That's the one that got me. That's all Peter cares about. I think these guys need to work on their aim just a little bit. Table broke the fall. On the job training here. Total protonic reverse. I still don't even know what that means. Is the ghost laughing at them? Destroy everything. Destroy all of it. Okay, dude. Nice shooting. Dude, don't even bother. Look at him. He's up in the air, just kind of his tongue is out, and he's like, you know? All right, and he just got him. Like it was nothing. A positron collider. I looked at the trap, Ray. And they just got him. They got their first ghost. Indicator light is blinking. All right. I Egon's like, Wow. And there we go. They've gotten paid. They've had their first successful job. Now we're getting ghost sightings, and the Ghostbusters are becoming famous because they're the ones that can do something about it. If there's something weird and it don't look good, who you gonna call? Larry King. Oh my god. So yeah, like they're getting famous. They're meeting these celebrities, newscasters. They're getting featured on the cover of all this media. That's right. And Casey Kasem is talking about them now. No fee is too big. How is Elvis, and have you seen him lately? Ghostbusters. Okay, so I've occasionally shown this movie at my library. This is the one scene in the movie right here that makes me uncomfortable to show this movie. The you know, unzipping scene. Uh-huh. It's only about 20 seconds, but man, it's like, whoa. Winston's like, hey, you gonna pay me? I'll do say whatever you want, you know? Oh my God, the 1980s when everyone smoked all the time. Like, hey, we just need an extra body here. Here, new guy, take all of these traps and stuff. And she's like, oh hey, it's the Peter the Ghostbuster getting all famous and stuff. You got any word on my case, Mr. Venkman? Right, Dr. Venkman. I'm sorry. Okay, the nasal spray was probably not. Sorry, the nasal spray is not exactly a good look, you know. Hey, KG, welcome. I hope you're having a great day. Have you seen Ghostbusters? I assume you've seen Ghostbusters. What's he doing in my icebox? Oh, KG, you can see Ghostbusters. I'm watching it on my Fandango at home account, but I think you can watch it on Max. Let me just check. Yeah, you can watch it on Max. It is available on Max with a subscription. If you're interested, I'm about 45 minutes into it. I'm at 44:40 now. So, so if you would like in, let me know. You haven't seen him on the TV? I mean, come on. He's a ghost catching scientist, you know? Yeah, this is one of those movies that like if you've seen it once, you've probably seen it 1,000 times. Like insert the trap. Light is green, trap is clean. I know who we're about to meet. Ah. Ghostbusters, what do you want? Oh, this guy. Walter Peck. I kind of feel like Peter is kind of the aggressor here. Like Peck is kind of a jerk, but he's at least trying, you know. But Peter basically, oh, I never noticed Jeanine kind of like looking around at them. I never caught that before. I feel like Peter is just kind of being an a-hole here, and it kind of like drives Peck to be a jerk too. So, see? He's trying. And now he goes into demand mode. And now it's just like, yeah, okay, you just made an enemy, you know? You could have just like shown him the facility and been like, okay, all right, here you go. This is what we got. We're not using any chemicals. But no. The Twinkie. The 35-foot long Twinkie. That is a big Twinkie. How's the grid holding up? Yeah. Yes, Kiji, it is who you're thinking of. He just met and left. Now they're talking. Well, we're past the Twinkie talk. We've got the gargoyles starting to lose their exteriors and become the demon dogs. And boom, pops off the stone. There's the red eyes. It's like this whole time, every time it's zeroed in on a gargoyle, it's like, here's what you're getting. Okay, so poor Dana here, trying so hard to sneak around his party. And it's like Lewis has just been watching for her, you know? Oh, he looks so sad. You made a date while I'm having my party? He's he's so funny. I understand why Rick Moranis quit acting and just kind of does his own thing now. But man, his performances were so good, and it's just these little moments, and he's just knocking them out of the park, you know? I don't know. Kind of love it. Kind of wish that he would have come back, but you know, I get it. So, hi mom. Thanks for the call, you know. I wonder what that was about. What is she not gonna do? He's a Ghostbusters. Yes, those guys. Okay, so both of her parents are alive. This is one of the few truly horrific moments in the movie right here, uh where she gets trapped in her chair and then pulled towards the demon dog. The door thing, that's freaky. Yeah. And then look at that. The arms come right out of the chair, hold her in place. Like that, this is one of those moments as a kid. I was like, whoa. It's still pretty frightening, even as an adult. So, oh yeah, Spaceballs. That was a good one too. And now the gargoyle is destroyed. See, no one is talking to him. He just keeps talking. Okay, so this blonde lady here, she must have been at least somewhat famous because she's got like this cameo right here. I remember seeing her on Cheers for one or two episodes, but um again, like they're just putting these little cameos of, I don't know, stars from back then, I guess. She's dude. So they're okay. All right. And the coats room. Who brought the dog? That's one big dog. I'm here for you, Tully. I love how they are just they have no grace whatsoever. Woman's like, nope, nope. There's a bear. One person calls it a bear. I think another one calls it like a panther or something. That's no bear. That's like, I love how he thinks that's someone's pet. That's great. And for some reason, as a kid, I remember this scene too, where he's trying to get into the restaurant and he can't, and so he just starts like banging on the glass. Somebody let me in. And he just like falls to the ground and everyone just goes back to eating like, "Oh my god, you guys are just wonderful people." And then Peter shows up. Cougar. Okay, not a panther, a cougar. Bum 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 bum. And then Peter's like, "What the heck happened here? This must be the cougar." That's probably what he's thinking. The entire soundtrack of this movie is amazing. It is an absolute banger. And then we've got Zool as Dana. I'm not And she's like, "Well, you killed the mood. I'm slamming the door shut in your face." He's like, "Okay, all right, let's try this again." Yes, I'm the keymaster, sure. And he's like, oh, there is ectoplasm all over this place. And he just like rolls with it. Okay. It's like whenever Zool comes around, she get like their host gets very humpy, I guess is the way that podcast described it in Afterlife. I guess the roses worked. Sub creature. Whoa. Well, I hope you like dominant women there, Peter. Oh, oh my God. Sounds like you got at least two people in there already. She is like so randy. It is so weird. Egon is my favorite. There. Zuli, you nut. This entire scene is hilarious and creepy at the same time. Wow. I can only imagine the direction they must have given Sigourney Weaver to act out this scene. Like, because it looks like she's, horny, but it also looks like she's trying to eat him at times, too. I guess the two things can go hand in hand, so. My God. Yeah, this scene where she's up in the air. Uh-huh. He's like, okay, all right. You wanna come down from there, maybe? Huh? That sudden growl is great. And now Lewis is possessed. Uh, he's like, hey. So I don't know what the deal is here, but apparently Vince is like, he's like, he's got like sympathy for slaves or something, and that's how he perceives the horse. I don't know. Jeanine's just like unperturbed, dropping off or picking up. I like that. They just bring him by. Like, hey, we got this guy. We're gonna. You better let me have a look at this guy. Think he's human. I love Egon. I love Egon so much. I like how there is a readout of the demon dog on the scanner. That was brilliant. Yes, have some. Poor Jeanine. Even Egon is like, whoa, what? That's nice. That sounds like a full plate there, Vince. Oh, gee, you think, Jeanine? Oh, wow. Looking at those lines now, Jeanine was right. She was just about 30 years early. 40 years? I love that Peter just knocked her out with Thorazine. The gatekeeper. Yeah, no, I don't think you want that, Peter. Everybody's out doing things when all this stuff happens. I like that he happened to be carrying Thorazine on him. Like, really? Dr. Venkman? Okay. I never read the Bible, so like these quotes, I've never like really kind of. I'm like, okay, all right, it's a thing. Excuse me. And then what Winston says right here, it's like, hey, we're making money, but we might be losing the world soon. Yeah, sure. Let's listen to some music. I'm cool with it. Like, let's forget about this really depressing talk that we're starting to have here. And of course, the EPA has come home to roost. We have a cop, we have someone from ComEd or wherever, we have the EPA. Bum ba dum ba dum bum 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 bum. This electrician dude is like, I have no clue. This just looks like another building. I love Annie Potts. No, don't. Yeah, like Rick Moranis, he's mimicking Walter Peck. He's doing the little hand gestures. And then Peter shows up, and now Peck is just be like, "Nope, I'm going to make your lives miserable." Dang. Dude's like, "I don't care about your opinion, dude who's supposed to know about this kind of thing." Like Egon immediately starts to go in for the stairs. Like, we need to get out of here. That's not good. That's not good. Yeah, nope. You just caused the apocalypse, Mr. Comet guy, or get out. Get out right now. Walter Peck, one of the biggest morons in Ghostbusters history. Yep. Nope. This is the sign. And then Annie Potts. Ooh, favorite song from Ghostbusters? I don't know. Probably the song, probably the music that they play in Afterlife. It that the song is in here too, but it's when Egon's when you see Egon's spirit. Uh, bum 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 bum. Like that's probably the big one. Okay, if you piss off Egon, he's like the most mild mannered out of all of them. Okay, Peck pissed off Egon to the point that Egon lunged for him. You got to be a special kind of a hole in order for that to happen. Okay, like Peck is just like, no, no. Believe it's magic. It's magic. I believe it's magic. And here come all the ghosts. They're like, you know what? We've been released from containment. We're gonna have a little fun. I thought this was really freaky. The skeletal, zombified, whatever, taxi cab driver. And as far as I know, he got him where he needed him to go. Cool. Slimer's back, and he's eating all the hot dogs. Boom. Blow out the entire wall of Dana's apartment now. And I love Winston. I was just there. I wasn't really, involved. I didn't do anything. I love how these guys are all huddled around him. Like, everybody getting this? You never know which it could be. I love this. Just tell me what's going on here. I love what Ray, like, you never studied. She's not my girlfriend. And Peter's freaking these guys out. I love how the name Evo Shandor, like, it gets one mention in this scene, and basically, like, he becomes an entire thing by the time Afterlife comes around. Egon looks pretty upset about this. And, and now Winston's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Sumerian, not Babylonian. I love Egon. I gotta get my own lawyer. Carl Winslow, everybody. Carl Winslow showing up. I love that. Um, Reginald Vell Johnson always seems to play a cop, you know? He's in Die Hard, he's in Ghostbusters, he's in, oh god, I don't remember the name of the show. The one with Steve Urkel, though. Ah, the meeting, the meeting of the demigods. It's like Lewis has been trying to get a date with Dana this entire time, and well, guess what? I love how she just towers over him. I freaking love that. Family matters. Thank you. Yes. Bum, bum. This is a good song too. I think this song right here is called "Saving the Day." Okay, meeting with the mayor. Heck just comes in and just like, here's my thought, and it happened. Dickless. Yes, it's true. I love this joke. And now Peck launches at him. Well, that's what I heard. Oh, I love it. They were bleeding like out of a Stephen King movie. I like how Peter can just like read the room and respond however he wants, you know. Like he gets one look at the mayor, he's like, "Okay, I know exactly what he wants. I know exactly what he needs." Winston Zeddemore. It'll turn you even whiter than white. Dogs and cats living together. Yeah, right. Hmm, hmm. Lenny. And the look on the mayor's face just says it all. Again, Bill Murray, his facial expressions, he is so good. He can say so much without uttering a word, you know? Well, let's see. We need our freedom. We need some reinforcements, so just have everyone come. Nostalgia is a powerful drug. Oh, it absolutely is. That's why I started doing these movies because I want some of that nostalgia. Bum 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 bum. All of this destruction. Oh no, clouds are forming. Saving a day. Saving a day. And now we've got a crowd, which is exactly in Peter's wheelhouse. See, he's Peter's like an MC, you know. He knows how to hype up a crowd. He's like the consummate showman, you know. It's like when Dana said, you remind me of a game show host. Like it wasn't really meant as a compliment, but it's like that is a skill set though, and it's one that can come in handy at times. And now it's like Gozer knows he's coming, or knows they're coming, and they're not happy about it. That's all right, Ray. Overtime is a good thing. Oh, right. Yes, the ground opening up and swallowing them. Ooh. All of this destruction. Don't know if it's being caused by Gozer, but it's certainly being caused by the events leading up to Gozer's appearance. Everybody's like, what the heck? It's literally just that part that they were standing on, too. I think the first time I saw this, when they came out of the ground, I was like, yes, you know? Like I felt exactly how these New Yorkers felt, you know? And there we go. Peter's just like hyping everyone up again. Ensign. All right, we're going in. Let's go do the thing. And now they're like 20 floors up and they're just panting. I mean, it makes sense. You don't really want to take the elevator at this time, you know? Teens, oh god. Does he want to throw up specifically when they get to 20? Because I don't know. Okay, so the implication here is that they've had sex, okay? Which is, like you can see the belt loose around his pants, kind of the satisfied look that they have. And I think in Afterlife it basically establishes, yeah, they have to, join. 22. Okay. But yeah, like I think when I was a kid I just thought that they had kissed and then that turned them into the dogs or whatever. Cuz you miss a lot when you're a kid, you know? There are some things that just don't become apparent. Well, there's the apartment for you. That poor piano. That thing is toast. Excuse me. That is an excellent shot right there. Where do these stairs go? They go up. That's a great answer. Like we're gonna go and Peter, you sleaze, I swear. Bum, ba, ba, ba. Oh man. And here's the temple. Or whatever. Alright. And now they are turning into that. Those things. I love Peter's response here. Okay. Alright, she's a dog. You know. And there we go. God, this was so cool back when I saw it for the first time. Like this whole end setting and everything, the light work, the frickin' pyramid with the door in the back. And I guess that's Gozer. Go get her, Ray. It's like, hey, you sent me out to speak to the librarian, Ghost, so now it's your turn, buddy. Love this speech. That was great. Uh-oh, the big question. The big question. Yeah, yeah, say it. You know, you say you're a god, yeah. No. Oh, Ray. Ray, Ray, Ray. And we're gonna get what's probably Winston's most famous line in just a second here. Ray. Ray looks like a whipped puppy right there. Like, yeah, okay, all right. Peter's like, okay, you know what? Time to fight back. It's a great shot of the four of them. Let's show this prehistoric bitch how we do things downtown. That's a great line, too. Nimble. Well, so much for that. Wasn't so hard, huh? I mean, do you really think it's over at that point? No. No, you didn't. Uh-oh. And we're about to have more upheaval. Oh, yeah, that ram-looking thing. You better move. Oh, never mind. It missed them completely. But it is falling on the citizens below. Yeah, that's not good. Sub creatures. Okay. Oh god. I love Peter's description of this right here. Don't think of anything, guys. And Ray can't help himself. Egon's like, nope. Wynn's like, nope. And then they all turn to look at Ray. What did you do? I couldn't help it. Egon's like, oh no. What did you do, Ray? Oh my god. I remember seeing this as a kid. Mind blown. I was like, wow. I don't know. Do you think Stay Puft Marshmallow Man qualifies as a kaiju? I mean, he kind of does, you know. He's certainly the size of a small building. He's what, 40 feet tall, something like that. Ray. He's just like something that couldn't ever hurt us. Nice thinking, Ray. Favorite line from Egon right here. I'm terrified beyond the capacity for rational thought. That is a hilarious line. And if you don't think so, you're just wrong. Hey guys, I'm here. Let's fight. It's the marshmallow. Oh man. Pretty smart move trying to move the flames upward like that. 100 feet? Okay. Oh my god, all the sex jokes in this. Oh, yeah. Crossing the streams, really? We're making a sacrifice play here, is basically what they're doing. There's definitely a very slim chance we'll survive. I love that. Egon's the man with the plan. You got to go with it, you know? Another 5 a year? Boom. Here we go. Light them up, guys. Crossing the streams. There we go. Go, go. Egon is just all business. And look, Gozer is screaming behind them in fear. Okay, that explosion, I'm sorry, that should have killed him. I remember when I was a kid, I swear I saw a face in the clouds when that happened. Hey, Walter Peck, look up! I swear he must be screaming Venkman's name at that point. Destruction. Yep, the dogs are gone too. Turned to stone. How much shaving cream do you think they used for this? There probably is a number that exists. I love how, like, 3 of the Ghostbusters are just covered in marshmallow here. And then Peter comes out. Venky. He's like, he's like hardly been touched, you know? And now he goes right. He's looking for Dana. Ray, you've just got a gift for saying the wrong thing, don't you? Peter can't say anything. He's convinced she's gone already. Which, I mean, to be fair, I would be too, you know? But now that we've all seen Ghostbusters, we all know that the humans, are just get trapped within the stone that is the demon dogs or whatever you want to call them. And there she is. Yay, we rescued her. Woot! Go check on the little guy. Go get the other one out. I like how he's like mostly free except for his head. Oh, you're just in your apartment actually. I love Rick Moranis. I like how Lewis just goes right to business. Who does your taxes? Felt great. Actually, this might be Winston's most famous line. I love this town. I like how they just must have put some marshmallow in Dana's hair. Oh, God. And there we go. Kissy kissy. I ain't afraid of no ghost. Punk ass ghosts. Dan Aykroyd. Sigourney Weaver. Harold Ramis. And Annie Potts. Rick Moranis. I want to go with them in the car. Sorry, I think that's only going to be Dana. Pick up the phone. The doorman. He looks very disheveled. Dump. I ain't afraid of no ghost. Oh, I hear he likes the girls. Bum, 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 ba-dum. I ain't afraid of no ghost. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. And of course, I mean this song is I've been to the occasional club. They will not play this song except on Halloween for the most part. Bum ba bum. It's like, okay, guys, all right, we done our job. We're going. We're getting out of here for a little while. We need some rest. And there they go, driving off into no traffic. And then here's Slimer. And there we go. And this is a movie without any post-credit scenes. So I'm just gonna go really close to the end of the credits, let it play out there, so that way the next time I restart this movie, which I will at some point, because you just get into a Ghostbusters mood sometime, it'll start from the beginning. So, all right, about 10 more seconds, and then we will be And done. All right, and that is it. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and talk about it real quick. Actually, you know what, KG, I'm gonna go ahead and just look at some of the other things you were saying. I was looking at some of what you were saying, and then some I may have missed. So, all right, let's see. Oh, okay. My ultimate favorite Ghostbusters moments since I was a kid was when the Titanic comes in. I just love that for some reason. And I remember that one too, actually. And I think isn't it like Cheech is the one that says better late is like, well, better late than never. Like I think that's Cheech from Cheech and Chong that says it. So let's see, who else? We know that Peck sucks. Who You Gonna Call was the number one single the day that you were born? Really? So I take it you were born in 1984 then, right? If that's the case, that makes you about 7 years younger than me, actually. Ghostbusters soundtrack is banging. Yes, it is. Let's see. Egon and Ray are probably your faves. Yeah, for me, it's always been Egon. I mean, I like Peter. I like all of them, but like, I like Egon because he was basically the brainy one. I also like Peter because he's just the one that, in any given situation, he's gonna have a clever word for to say. He's just gonna like I don't know. He's just going to be able to kind of own a given conversation and direct it. So, Winston didn't get enough love. Yeah, that is true. Honestly, I pulled up a Ghostbusters playlist a few months ago and listened to the whole thing. So good. I hated 80s music when I was younger, but now it's gold. Nostalgia is powerful. Nostalgia is a powerful drug. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Um, yeah, fluffy and harmless, right? Yeah, yeah, Gozer's he's gonna be a Stay Puft Marshmallow. How much harm can he do? Egon's lines make all the sense. Egon doesn't have like a ton of lines, but the few of the ones that he has are really good. Like they're the ones I remember. So, explosion of marshmallow. Oh, you had no idea that was Cheech and Chong until last year? Oh, nice. Nice. It's like the new stuff you discover. Um I mean, for me, one of the big things that I notice when I watch these movies nowadays is like, because when I was a kid, all of the sex jokes just they went over my head. And now I watch them and I'm like, God, there were actually quite a few in here. Like a lot more than because I thought this movie was just completely clean when I was a kid. No, 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 I was just a dumb kid, you know. But yeah, this is a great one. We're gonna go ahead and just go right into the post-mortem here because I'm sure I have plenty to say about this movie. So, all right, everyone, that was Ghostbusters, and I could say so much about this movie, and I probably will. Again, this movie in a lot of ways just was my childhood. I saw it, it blew my mind, and I knew that this was something special. And so when they came out with a cartoon very shortly afterwards, I'm like, see, Ghostbusters, totally a thing. And that cartoon did a good job of keeping the franchise in the public consciousness until Ghostbusters 2 came out. Ghostbusters 2, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's not my favorite one in the franchise. It's not bad. It's nowhere near as good as this one. This one is iconic. And it's not just because it was the first, it's because like you had moments like, sorry, Venkman, I'm terrified beyond the capacity for rational thought. You have moments like, Ray, when someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes. the lines, the characters. I mean, Venkman could just say so much with just his face, you know. I particularly love the moment when Walter Peck is like, "I don't believe you're serious. You know, you're seriously considering listening to these men." Like, just watch Peter's face. You know, he looks at the mayor and then he like does a sideways glance at Peck, like, this guy just has no clue what's going on. Am I right? Am I right? You know, and it's just the mayor is just like, yeah, you're right. Like they're having a little communication before he tells Peck, you know, like, hey, get this guy out of here. And really it's those kinds of moments. It's those little character moments that help make this movie what it is. The ghost busting, the spectacle, like that is awesome too. The first encounter with Slimer when Ray drives him away and then it slimes Peter. Like that whole, you know, Peter talking to Ray over the walkie-talkie is just one of those things that I will never forget. And then when he gets slimed, like, because the first time that happened, you're just like, I don't know what's going on. Is he okay? Did the ghost hurt him? You know, and then you just see that. I mean, when you find Peter, think about this. You know, all the sex jokes that go over your head as a kid with this movie. Think about the first time that they find Peter and you know he's covered in a messy gooey substance, you know, like, and it's funny as a kid because you're like, ah, that's slime, and narratively it is slime, okay. But let's go back to the fact that there are a lot of sex jokes in this movie. You know, it's easy to make the connection of what something else Peter could be covered in, you know. And yeah, you know, this movie works on several different levels, which is why it appealed to adults and kids, you know, at the same time. And it's really pretty masterful. It's really pretty masterful writing, and it's really pretty masterful filmmaking that makes it so. Um, I, I think that it's also, you know, it's worth talking about this movie in terms of its genres as well. Obviously, this is a comedy. This is a comedy that has a fairly happy ending, you know, but its tone is very comedic. But let's also consider we've got a couple of horror moments in this movie. I mean, we've got horror elements that are just embedded into the narrative because these guys fight ghosts. Ghosts are scary, you know, the I don't care who you are. If you ever meet a ghost, like, you know, for real, if you ever meet a ghost, I'm pretty sure your initial reaction is going to be fear because that is something you've never met before and you don't know how it's going to behave. All right. So it's fairly fair to categorize this as having horror elements and applying a horror genre tag to it as well. Science fiction. I'd say that this also counts as science fiction because these guys are using technology to fight off these things, basically, you know. They're using unlicensed nuclear accelerator. It's, you know, like they're using applied technology, and the gadgets are like a pretty integral part of the movie. You know, you got the PKE meter, you got the proton packs, you've got the ghost traps. You know, you've got all this equipment that the Ghostbusters use, you know, to catch and contain ghosts. And so the sci-fi is not as pronounced as the horror and comedy elements, but it's definitely there. And I kind of like the way that it is so, I don't know, so effortlessly just contained within the genre. And then finally, uh, there might be light fantasy elements if you want to go with, you know, this is like supernatural horror. But I don't. I wouldn't think it's unfair if you didn't classify this as a fantasy movie. Um, but I definitely think you know, the labels comedy, horror and sci-fi could definitely apply. I wouldn't argue if you classified this as a fantasy as well, because again, you're dealing with ghosts, you're dealing with interdimensional travel, you're dealing with, Sumerian gods, not Babylonian, Sumerian. Um, and so, yeah, I wouldn't really have a problem with it being classed as a fantasy either. And so I think for those reasons, like this movie will appear on all of those playlists on my channel. But yeah, like overall, this is just a great movie. It's so much fun. You got your four heroes overcoming, these fantastical encounters with supernatural beings. It's a very New York movie. This movie is New York in the way that Spider-Man is very New York. It's very New York in the way that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are New York. And now for some reason, I want a movie where the Ghostbusters and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Spider-Man all meet. I just want that to happen for some reason. So, um, it'd be like, yeah, New York's finest. There we go, But yeah. Um Again, I could talk about each of the actors. Bill Murray is amazing, and really, I mean, like he's got that smarmy kind of charm. But he's really capable. Like he does a lot with facial expressions and body language in a way that you can tell what he's saying without him having to say a single word, and I love it. Um, Dan Aykroyd is like when Peter calls Ray the heart of the Ghostbusters, like that's definitely how I see Ray. And like Ray is the one that has a passion for what they're doing and gets excited about like any and all supernatural phenomena that they encountered. He's kind of like the golden retriever. He's the excited dog of the Ghostbusters, and it really shows. Um, Egon, Egon really he doesn't say or do much, but like he plays the straight man very well. And Harold Ramis, like again, the year 2014, we lost a lot of performers that I loved. Robin Williams was one. Harold Ramis was the other big one. I was just like, oh man, Egon's dead. That's it. We're never gonna get a proper Ghostbusters like third movie. And I'm so happy to be wrong. And we'll get to we'll get to Afterlife eventually on this program, but it'll probably be a while because there are a lot of other really good classics that I want to watch before then. But yeah, Harold Ramis's Eon was just like he spoke to me just on a personal level. I was like, Egon is my Ghostbuster. And so I again, I'll talk briefly about Afterlife here, but like when I first saw Afterlife in the theaters and Egon like they bring him back, his spirit. Geez, I'm getting emotional now thinking about it. I have no shame in telling you guys I freaking broke down. Um, I was doing everything I could to remain silent during that time, but like I was very silently ugly crying when he appeared. So, um, and then finally there's Ernie Hudson as Winston. And KG, I agree with you. Winston does not get enough love. He, like they brought him on, like obviously Peter, Ray, and Egon, those are all the scientists of the group. And really, I think it was a clever move bringing in Winston, bringing in someone who isn't a scientist, he's the person that the audience can identify with. He can be the audience insert. He's like, I don't know what these guys are talking about. I just work with them, and oh my god, like I'm just I point the proton pack wherever they tell me to. Um, It's a very clever move and it works. I really wish that they had brought him in a little earlier than they do in this movie, because like Ernie Hudson is like he brings that earnestness, the I'm here, the Ernie bringing the earnestness. I just realized I made a pun. Anyways, but like he brings that kind of everyman quality to the Ghostbusters and makes it so that it's like these guys. Yeah, I suppose you could argue that Peter does that too, but I feel like Peter is a bit too sleazy for everyone to identify with. I feel like Winston is the guy. He is, like, no, we need someone who is just kind of common sense and is going to occasionally be like, "Whoa, guys, what the hell?" And they do. And Ernie Hudson pulls that off amazingly. And I know this is going to be his most famous role, but I would just like to say very quickly that I kind of loved there's another movie that I will show on Classics Revisited. Actually, I already have it scheduled. It will be in September. But I'm going to be showing The Crow. All right. And nothing surprised me more when I was watching The Crow to see Ernie Hudson show up as a cop. And I'm like, they can't keep him away from the paranormal, can they? Um, and it was just kind of one of those, all right, nice. And he ends up being kind of an ally to Eric Draven in that movie. But he plays the guy that is just kind of like, I am so done with this crap. And he's also the one that you root for, and I really like that about him. So Rick Moranis, Annie Potts, Sigourney Weaver all contribute excellent turns. Is William Atherton as Walter Peck. All of those are standout characters that do an amazing job with what they have, especially Rick Moranis. He just dominates every scene, every line that he is given. Like, he owns Louis Tully, as far as I'm concerned. And we'll see him again in Ghostbusters 2 for what, in my opinion, is probably Lewis's best scene. Just comedically speaking, it's amazing, and I won't get into it here, but I'm pretty sure you know the scene I'm talking about in Ghostbusters 2. Um, Ivan Reitman. I don't know much about Ivan Reitman other than he produced this movie. I'm always going to love him for that. And of course, Jason Reitman is the one that he was the guiding hand behind Afterlife. And so, this entire franchise is, maybe not all of it, but most of it has been kept in the Reitman family, and I really appreciate that because you can kind of feel their fingerprints on it. And I believe Jason Reitman does have a cameo in Ghostbusters too, so I'll tell you more about that when we get around to watching it. So, um, again, I love this movie. I love this movie. It is, and that love is coming from a place that's at least 40 years old at this point. And it just seemed appropriate to do this as one of my first Classics Revisited live streams. So I hope you enjoyed this. I really did get into it. I love this movie, and hopefully you did too. Thank you for watching this reaction. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and thwip the like button, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing as well. Oh God. Also, if you enjoyed this reaction, please, wow, brain does not want to work. Yes, Jason is Ivan Reitman's son. Yes, that is true. All right. Also, if you enjoyed this reaction, oh God, and then I forget what I'm supposed to say next. All right. Also, if you enjoyed this reaction, consider sharing this out to your friends, your family, your followers, anyone that you think would enjoy my reaction to these media. What'd you think of this movie? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Let me know why in the comments. I would love to have a conversation with you about this film. You can find the full and unedited live stream of these movies on my YouTube channel. There is a master playlist of all the movies that I have watched and reacted to, and I've started to divide them up into smaller playlists, usually by genre. Ghostbusters would be classified, to me at least, as a comedy, a horror movie, believe it or not, a science fiction movie, and I might even place it in the fantasy playlist as well. And you can find all of those playlists on my YouTube channel under the category Watch Party. All right. You got to start over. You know, sometimes you just got to start over. That's how it works. But the nice thing is you guys get to watch me flub this during the stream or the VOD of the stream if you want. But when I edit this together, I'm gonna look so smooth. Yeah. As smooth as I can look, at least. All right. Let's see. Oh, right. Okay, final bit. Okay. And finally, channel memberships are now live on the Spidey Librarian YouTube channel. Check out the membership tier. Yeah. Check out the membership tiers and see which perks you'd like access to. Excuse me, trying that again. Check out the membership tiers and see which benefits you'd like access to. Perks include shoutouts, which, by the way, thank you to KG for being a member. I appreciate you. All right. Members only live streams, members only videos, and wow, brain really does not want to work today. And early access to selected uploaded content. Check out the memberships. No. And that's not even mentioning my custom emotes and badges. Check out the membership tiers today and see which perks you'd like access to. And I think that's everything. So thanks again for watching. This is Spidey Librarian. And until my next stream or upload, I'll be wishing you a good day. All right. That's right. You never know what'll happen when it's live, you know? You can see a bunch of Spider-Man stuff on my bed because it's all red and blue, you know? You just never know what's going to be there. And actually Trouble is not in my room at the moment. I'm going to go see what she's up to in a second. But yeah, it's a great movie. Never know what'll happen when live. Maybe I should do like a live rap every time and no, I don't know. I can't rap anyways. Maybe I'll do some live dancing. I don't know. I don't know. Just do something zany, you know, so that you have to go to the VOD to watch it, or you have to either be here in the live stream, or you have to watch the entire live stream in order to see it. You got to go find it or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Anyways, I think that's all I've got to say about this today. I just want to say thanks to KG for being here. I appreciate it very much. I hope you're enjoying these. Classics Revisited is going to be streamed on Sundays, and then the VOD of the live stream will be released on Tuesdays. So you know, and that gives me time to edit it so that people can go to the sections that they want to see. But you know, I think it's a nice little members perk that you guys can be here for this. These are, you know, this is at least one category of members only live streams that I want to be a perk for channel members. So I hope you're enjoying this. And that should be able to make it. Now, I think the next one I'm doing, the next movie that I'm going to be watching is Inner Space. Inner Space was actually suggested by Matt Cave, another channel member. So he's going to, well, I don't know if he's going to watch. Hopefully he'll watch. But if you haven't seen Inner Space, and I have, it's been a long time, but I have seen it. It's about I think Dennis Quaid's character is like shrunk down to like microscopic size and he has to make his way through the body of I think it's Martin Short. I can't remember, but like and he has to make it out of the guy's body so that he can be rescued and brought to regular size. So I'll be looking forward to watching that. I don't think you can find it on any streaming service right now. I'm probably going to have to I don't think you can find it as part of a subscription to a streaming service right now, but I'm doing a quick look for where to watch it. I'll probably just rent it from Fandango at home. Or maybe if I find it for cheap on Fandango at home, maybe I'll buy it. I don't know. But Inner Space is a good movie. It is, wow, I don't think it's available for purchase. Oh, it is. Okay. Um, it's $10. I'm not gonna pay that for it. But I'll be watching that next Sunday. Hopefully you guys can join me for that. It'll be a good time. It's inspired by the movie Fantastic Voyage. So if you've seen that, it's like that. It's kind of an 80s comedy, if I remember correctly. It's worth watching. I remember enjoying it the one or two times that I saw it, probably at least a good 30 years ago. So it's worth checking out. But in the meantime, um, I'll have I've put the schedule on the Discord chat that you guys are a part of. And I think I've also posted the schedule on my YouTube channel, at least for May. I don't know if I posted June yet. I've got June figured out, but I just haven't, I don't know if I've posted it. And if I haven't, I will soon. So, but in the meantime, I think I'm going to get going. Thanks again for being here. I appreciate it very much. Take care. This is Spidey Librarian. And until my next stream or upload, I'll be wishing you a good day. Bye. And take care, KG. I'll see you soon.